Never seen a lame man walk. Ever heard a dumb man talk. Never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his thing. Never seen a canceled debt. Never seen all the poor get fed. Never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his thing. Broken heart made whole. Never seen an orphan find a home.
Hey there, internet world. How are y'all doing? It's podcast time. It's the Big C and Bigger T podcast.
That's a big T right here. I'm doing a big T.
And then I'll do the C. I don't know if I'm going the right way. Clint, Shannon, Clark, how you doing, my homie, my ace?
I was doing good. You told everybody my middle name was Shannon.
I know mine's pretty simple. Cody. It's not very.
Yeah. I was like, I can't come back.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
Look,
well, we just won't talk about Claude. So anyway,
CWR3.
CWR3. Whoop whoop. Holla if you hear me. Clint, how you doing, man? How's your day gone? I know it's been a long day for you.
It's been a long day, but it's been a good day. I can't complain at all. You know, even our bad days are better than some other people's good days. So
that's
you
right.
Take it what it is.
Take it.
Life is good. You know, I woke up, the sun came out. You know, it's been woke up Monday morning, the sun still came out. Life wasn't over.
No one's kicked you in the face, or
no one's kicked me in the face.
Good.
People have wanted to, but they did it.
Well, but hey, you know what? That's their prerogative. You know, but they can be wrong. They can be wrong. Well, Clint, you know, it's been a crazy week.
Has been.
We got some stuff we're going to talk about later. We won't.
You all know what it is. We're not going to
bring it up right now. We're going to stay focused on just the whole. The task at hand.
Task at hand.
Task at hand. Right here. Stay focused. Woo! Stay focused. All right. Band stanza. By the way, here in the South Arkansas studios, I have Jacob Branscombe is here hanging out somewhere. He's staying down here working for Hometown Roofing this week in the area.
You're once again a paid podcaster, aren't you?
I am. Robert was down here the other day and bought me lunch. And then I think somehow I talked Jake into buying me a meal today too. So, man, I'm doing good.
Look out.
But no, Clint, as always, we've got some Holy Schnikes moments we need to talk about.
Ooh, boy,
and, you have one that I'm not real up on this one. So this one will be kind of new to me, but you kind of told me a little bit of what it's about. And I think I may have heard something on a, sports news thing, but throw it at us. What do you got there?
Shelby O'Houlihan. I'm butchering that last name.
Oh, I hope it's O'Houlihan.
O'Houlihan.
That's like straight out of a
Houlihan.
That's straight out of a movie.
Yeah. The
Definitely
American
Irish.
Record holder in the 1500s.
She's redheaded.
She is redheaded. She is in the American record holder in the 1,500 and 5,000 meters. She tested positive for a banned substance.
Oh, naughty girl. She's bad.
Bad, but
that's rule breakers. That's breaking the rules.
Me and her have something in common. We have both apparently ate a tainted burrito.
Wait a second. What did she test positive for?
Let's see right here.
Excessive gases, blasts, and interruptus. I mean, what is she?
It was. I saw it, and I can't find it. But anyway, it was a bad. She's blaming it on a tainted pork burrito. A tainted pork burrito. Nandrolone. She's saying she's never heard of it. Don't know what the banned substance is. That's the banned substance. And I'm butchering these names. I'm not a medical doctor or science
You're
computer.
not at all.
I have a degree from the Arkansas Tech University in sociology, which is why I work where I work. But I love my job
with rims.
But yeah. So
okay, so let me get this straight.
Yes,
this lady sets world records, but then she takes a test, drug test, and she boop 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 boop. Drug police. They say, hold a lot up. Where were you on the what? What did you? And she goes, I had a burrito.
Right. Now I don't think she had just competed. I think this was getting ready for, they're starting the trials and stuff up for the Olympics.
Okay, so she's preparing.
So they're preparing, they're getting ready.
It's a preparation burrito.
A preparation burrito. And you know, as you know, I'm an active jiu-jitsu competitor. I'm getting ready for Master Worlds. I'm pretty much convinced myself that I'm going to be competing in AGF Arkansas on the 26th of this month. So we'll see how that goes. I'll either come on really sad for that podcast or really, really happy. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm not going to eat a burrito beforehand. I'm not just going to have to stay away from it.
No, Clint, and here's the deal. You ain't about to believe this. I've eaten my share of burritos.
Yes, I believe you.
I've eaten burritos at restaurants. I've been to places like Moe's Southwest Grill where you can get your Subway style burrito. Just put all the stuff you want in it, you know. I've eaten some burritos at gas stations. You know,
the ones where they just it's like pre-made and they just throw it in the deep fryer.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that's probably what she had.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
she said it was a food truck burrito.
Oh, a food truck.
I think maybe it's a different kind of food truck. Maybe it's like Big Worm's food truck.
Now, if you're telling me it's dangerous to eat a burrito from a food truck, I'm giving up on life. I'm done.
Well, I'm going to ask you this question just because I'm curious. Best burrito you ever had?
There's a place here in Camden that has it was a Loco Burrito Loco or something.
Yeah.
And it had like everything in it, like meat, beef, shrimp, chicken. Ooh. It was pretty good. But actually, I take that back. I was on my way home from a mission trip, and I'd been eating some horrible food in another country. I forget which trip it was, but we went through Chicago, and there was a place like Moe's there. There's another brand name up there.
Right.
And I got one.
Like a Qdoba or something like that?
Something like that. And I got one there. And because a lot of it may not have been the best burrito I ever had, but because I'd been eating horrible food, like I'd been living off Cliff Bars for like 2 weeks. Like it was the first American food I had. And I was like, angels singing, donkey ride to heaven right there.
Yeah.
What about you?
There used to be a place in Conway called Burritos. I called it the burrito wagon.
Yeah.
And it was so good. They went out of business, but the best single burrito, if you talk about the best burrito, I was with my buddy, Jeremy Patterson. I went out to Long Beach and competed in the jiu-jitsu tournament out there. And then after that, after a jiu-jitsu tournament, I ate like the ultimate fat kid for a couple of days.
Yeah.
I'd had Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and then we went to this Mexican restaurant the last night there, and I had what they called an Anaheim burrito. Had French fries in the burrito because I was going to carbo load. And man, it was good. It was so good. Yeah. Travis, you also had your whole...
Okay, but first I got to tell a story. This is a Travis and Clint story just popped in my head. I remember one night me and you had gone out, watched a movie or something like that with I think it was one of these when we were dating best friends or whatever, fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
And we were going back to your house and we were going to play cards. I think we had some other folks coming over to play spades or something like that, which by the way, me and Clint are undefeated in spades. I think. I don't think we've ever been beat.
Well, we've lost a couple times, but we have a
Yeah.
we have a winning record.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we stopped at that gas station by Taco Bell in
The
Greenbrier.
Conoco.
The Conoco. And the big girls behind the counter, they're like, why don't y'all just buy all of it? And you go, well, how much? And they said, $5. And Clint goes,
Yeah, I remember
done.
this.
And they put it all in a paper sack.
And the grease.
And there was like burritos. There was like tater logs. There was like tater babies, Crispitos. It was all those things just, and like the grease went 3/4 of the way up the sack.
Oh, it was bad.
And we didn't even finish it all. There was so much of it. But that was the best $5 I think we've ever spent.
Yeah, I used to when I'd go see Matt, my college roommate, sometimes I'd stop by Hardee's and I knew the overnight manager and he would load me up with stuff.
Yeah.
And they'd always be happy. But that's
okay.
Go ahead.
Here's my Holy Schnikes. And I'm sure a lot of you may have heard about this, but it's still just crazy to me. Christian Eriksen. Clint, he plays this sport that they play over in Europe and places like that, where they run around a lot and kick a ball into a net.
Right.
Soccer. It needs to be for little kids. It needs to be for little kids. The story this week, our Holy Schnikes story, is proof that it's not meant for older people, right? Okay. Yeah. So this guy is one of the best on he's Danish. He's from Denmark. Okay. Who goes to Denmark? Anyway, he's in the game. He gets a pass into him inbounds. He goes to pass the ball away and then collapses right there on the field. Dude goes into cardiac arrest. He's literally dying on the soccer field. His teammates, they call in the medics and everything. I think I heard one story where one of his teammates started CPR on him. They end up, his teammates, the TV station stayed live, okay? Stayed live while this is happening. He goes and they do CPR. They bring in the paddles, shock him, bring him back to life right there on the field while his teammates are circled around him. That you can't see it all happening because his teammates circled around him. But dude, he's okay now, thankfully.
Yeah.
Clint, once again, this proves the age-old truth. Soccer is dangerous. Don't play soccer.
Yeah.
It's not
I've
worth
said
it,
for a
people.
long time, soccer's for three things: foreigners, hippies, and little kids with too much energy.
That's right.
And there's another Holy Schnikes moment of the week that I didn't even think about, that we didn't even discuss beforehand. I did watch the UFC pay-per-view this weekend. And in the opening fight on the pay-per-view card, one of the fighters got his arm dislocated. Like it was literally flapping around like Dak Prescott's ankle.
That's a bad day.
And the guy so it's out. And so the guy can't armbar him anymore. And so the guy starts punching. He's got him in triangles, like elbowing him in the side of the head. And the guy obviously wants to tap, but he can't because his arm's just dangling around. And that wasn't even the worst part. They bring the guy over. Like the guy comes over, he's holding his arm, so it won't just fall down because his arm's like useless. They got to pop it back into place because it's dislocated at the elbow.
Yeah.
And the referee goes to grab his hand, and when he does, his arm just falls down and starts just dangling. And I'm just like, oh.
Poor guy.
Speaking of poor guys.
Don't do it, Clint. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's
Clint, don't do it.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. It's
Clint,
time.
I don't want it to be time.
Yep.
I want it to still go on.
It's
because my heart will still go on.
All good things must come to an end, and unfortunately,
not this early, Clint.
Yeah, your number one Arkansas Razorbacks got eliminated.
Why?
You know, but once I think about it, they should take out of the 3 games the overall score and calculate it all.
That's
and whoever
right.
had the most runs should have won.
We had 21 in the first game.
We'll go ahead and give them another 9 innings, and we'll just throw
right.
2 guys. And if y'all can score, y'all can make it the run difference of 17. We'll
Clint,
look at it.
It's so heartbreaking.
It's bad. And, you know, there's a lot of delusional fans like, fire Dave Van Horn. He can't get us over the hump.
Yeah, they need
like how long you think Dave Van Horn is going to be unemployed?
Yeah. Yeah, those fans need to be taken out back and whipped at
the 4 best baseball teams I saw play all year. Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and Nebraska. And and now I didn't watch. I mean, I watched Vanderbilt play. I mean, I watched some teams play just through that. And then the thing is, Nebraska's head coach, Dave Van Horn, former player.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee's head coach, a Dave Van Horn guy.
Yeah.
Man, it's not that bad. But you know what? We're here at the Big C, Bigger T podcast here to do. We're going to talk you off the ledge.
That's right. First thing though, just to remember, I think one of the problems is one of the reason people are on the ledge is we're not used to being the front runners. And this was one time, man, we were the front runners all year long. Like, once the first few weeks and we got that number 1, we were the front runners. Now, looking back, okay, there were some signs that had us, well, maybe we should have been worried. The fact that our pitching was not everyone but Cops was not consistent. Wicklander even, he was no Isaiah Campbell.
No.
He was no, some of the other more recent number 1 first day starters we've had.
Blaine Knight.
Yeah, he was not one of those guys that we could just almost count on, 90% of the time. There was times when he was out early and we had to do other things. Thankfully, though, somebody would step up usually, and usually it was Cops. The other thing was toward the end of the season, the top part of our lineup, one of my pet peeves is guys that swing at early pitches way too much. There's times in baseball where you swing at the first pitch because you're reading a guy and you know that he's going to throw you what you want. And if you see what you want, you swing at it. The problem was we were swinging at too many early pitches and we were trying to hit home runs too much. That's why you had so many pop flies up to shallow right field or little dinks off the end of the bat over to the first baseman. So you just tag first base. The best at bats we had were like Christian Franklin, had one where he got 10 pitches off the guy. Yeah. You in college, man, you gotta foul some off. You gotta 5 pitches off the plate in order to get to, because in college that pitcher's gonna screw up. He's gonna mess up, and you're gonna be able to get a pitch. So anyway, those were some of the weaknesses I saw that had me worried. In fact, you on our Marco Polo, you said the day of the last game, you said, I don't think we're going to win it. And I got on there right after you and replied and said, Clint, I'm with you. I have that same feeling. I said, I'm usually an optimist, but I had the same feeling that you had, that our bats wasn't doing like
they went cold, and North Carolina State had 2 really good freshman pitchers. 2 really good freshmen. I mean, North Carolina is going to be a team to reckon. North Carolina State, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Wolfpack will be a team to reckon with next year.
But Clint, here's the deal: we are not trained counselors.
No, we're not.
We're not. In fact, we're not trained at much, to be honest with you.
No, I have a degree in sociology, and you're this close to having a degree.
Yeah, and I've got years of experience in ministry.
And
we're not talking, Bible theology or that would be more of my ground. We're here, but we think we have some things to perk you up a little bit, Razorback fans.
And what am I, Travis? What I always call myself.
You're a cesspool of useless information.
Cesspool of useless information.
A cesspool of it. A cesspool.
Cesspool of it.
That's right. And so we have some things that we want you just to remind you of. These are things you already know. These are things you already know.
Hey,
However,
the sun's going to come out tomorrow, my friend.
sometimes you need to be reminded, right?
You do.
And and I know some folks, okay, are listening to this. You may not be big Razorback fans. For you, we pray for you that God will forgive you for your lack of trust in the Razorbacks. That's okay, Jaden Waters. You're out there. He's an LSU fan, Clint, that kid. Anyway, but here's the deal. The baseball team has a bright future.
They do.
We still have Dave Van Horn. We have the freshman, one of the freshmen of the year. Well, I don't know. Did he get freshman of the year, Caden?
No, he was on the all-freshman team, though.
Okay, remember, folks, his nickname is the Shawbridge Slugger.
Mm-hmm.
We need to make that viral. Shawbridge is a road in Worcester. His family lives down that section. Like you say, hey, where does so-and-so live? Oh, they live down Shawbridge. Okay. And they may live 5 roads off of Shawbridge, but that's the area. Okay. So he lives down that way.
Yeah.
Those country folks know what I'm talking about. You got Shawbridge Slugger, man. You got him as a freshman. You got a lot of, I was looking through the lineup, the roster last night. A lot of our pitchers are young guys.
Yeah.
We still got some pitchers. You have Connor Nolan who's going to come back. Clint, Connor Nolan looked good in those last couple of outings.
He did. And the pitching coach for Arkansas, he had interviewed for a job with the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
And here's one of them things. If you're a baseball coach and you get a chance to interview with the Yankees,
oh yeah.
You interview with the Yankees.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe if you're a manager for another baseball team, like the Cardinals or the Cubs or the Braves, something like that, you may not want to do it. But for the most part, if you're an Arkansas coach, you get a chance to interview with Yankees. Well, basically, Lyle Lockhart wound up at Arkansas because Andy Pettit said, "Go see this guy." Yeah. So this guy is a very well respected.
His dad's friends with Andy Pettit.
Yeah, they got some young arms, and Lockhart did good. But it's not just baseball where the future is bright. Travis.
No, it's not. That's right.
And I sent this this meme out today. 2020, 2021. Arkansas won 1 national championship, 5 NCAA top 10 finishes, 10 SEC titles, 18 of the 19 programs qualified for the postseason.
That's
17 of 19 programs ranked in the top 25 national polls. 4 different teams ranked number 1 and 8 SEC coaches of the year. Now, the thing about that is one of the teams that's not in the top 25 and did not have a coach of the year actually came really close, and that was our football team.
That's right.
You got to be excited about the future of Arkansas football. Okay, if I sit here and I said, look, we're going to take all these major accolades away. All that away, football, we're going to bring back the Chad Morris era, but we're going to give you a national title in baseball. Or you can be good at everything. I would take being good at everything.
Me too.
I mean, I really would.
I
mean, you look at what Pittman's done.
Let's talk about that real quick, because a big topic of conversation is he announced a new tight end coach.
Yeah, great.
Which is a big hire. Okay, he hired Dow Loggins. If you haven't heard, those of y'all, if you don't know who that is, he was a walk-on, nobody quarterback for the Hogs, but he was the holder. He had some mop-up duty a couple times here and there, but and actually didn't look too bad at times. But he was short, super short.
Yeah.
But he was on the sideline, and he called in all of Houston Nutt's plays. And Houston Nutt was training him, like preparing him to be a coach when he was here. Okay. He went on and started working in the pros. He went straight to the pros. I don't think he did anything. He may have done a GA job or something like that.
Right, yeah.
In college, but he went pretty much to the pros, I think, working under David Lee. And in the pros, he worked his way up to offensive coordinator. He was at Tennessee when they had a couple good years. He was at Chicago, kind of struggled there, but he had a head coach that was sort of domineering on the offense kind of thing, didn't let him do his own thing. He was at the Jets. Everyone struggles with the Jets. He was at the Giants for a little while.
The Browns.
But then recently he stepped down and he was a what's it called?
Analyst.
Yeah, for Franklin at Penn State, which is what a lot of these guys do when they're wanting to make a jump down into college. Now, he was up for the offensive coordinator job when Browse was hired. He was one of the ones that rumor out there that they were looking at. I don't know if they were or not, but with him being hired makes me think maybe he was. And now, Clint, we're seeing a pattern with Pittman, okay? He hires Kennedy as a tight end coach, who was an offensive line guy, but was a guy that Pittman had trained to coach offensive line, who had been a GA under him, he had trained to help recruit. Brad Davis, who was a wonderful offensive line coach, but Brad Davis was flirting with Texas A&M last year.
Mm-hmm.
So when Pittman had a chance to bring somebody in, he's going to bring in a guy that he can slide over to that position and have because he knows how important that position is. How important is a tight end coach, Clint?
They're not. At Arkansas Tech, we had a GA that coached our tight ends.
And especially with an offense like Browse, your tight ends are going to run a lot of receiver routes. So they're going to work with the receivers coach a lot of time. And then for blocking, they're going to work with the offensive line coach for run blocking stuff. They're going to line up in the backfield as an H-back a lot. They're going to work with a running back like a fullback would.
But it's a great opportunity for him to come in and see how, not a high pressure job. And look, he's got stuff. While there's not a lot of depth in that room, that top heavy Hudson Henry, Blake Kern.
Yeah.
Kern's the starting tight end. If you watch the red-white game, Kern's running with ones, Henry's running with the twos.
Yeah.
And Henry made some great plays last year, athletic plays last year. I did like what Sim Pittman goes, I can't tell you why Kern was playing. They must have had a lot of good tight ends.
Yeah.
I love that story. But, guys, this is why it's good to be a Razorback fan right now, is we have coaches.
And here's the deal. I think, me and you talked about this earlier. I think Browse's days are numbered. He's a guy that's hopped around a lot. He hasn't stayed places a long time. And he's been looked at for some head coaching jobs on some, not major level teams, but some good teams in the past. And if he can do what he keeps doing, what he's been doing at Arkansas last year, he's going to get some offers. And you have an offensive coordinator ready to go in, and then you're looking at hiring a tight ends coach instead.
Look, and there's about 1,000 different schools in Texas.
Yeah.
I was driving, went to Texas on vacation, did the podcast from out there last week, but I drove through Cypress and I saw their high school football stadium.
Oh, yeah.
I played D2 football and I've never played in a stadium that nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. But you're talking about, a Texas State job will open up,
Well, and now these Florida schools are coming up.
Yeah.
And he was he was at Florida State. Browse was. He was at Central Florida. So or wherever it was with Kiffin.
Yeah.
So
Florida Atlantic.
Yeah. So you got those kind of schools that may look for him too.
Yeah.
So the fact that Pittman's hiring these people with the future in mind, he's not just hiring like that tight end coach. Kennedy was a good coach and was going to be fully capable of coaching the tight ends. Dow Loggins is fully capable of coaching the tight ends now, but he's also a guy that's trying to learn the college game. he's going to be able to learn under Bryles a little bit, a guy that's been in college, that they've been offensive coordinators about the same amount of time, but Loggins has not been in college. Loggins can help bring in some NFL stuff and take that NFL stuff along with the college stuff he's going to learn with Bryles. And that's a offensive coordinator of the future. By the way, a guy that loves Arkansas. Go to our Twitter page and we retweeted a Sam Pittman tweet. That's a lot of tweets of the video of him introducing Dow Loggins. And Dow Loggins got up and said, look, it was my dream to run through that A.
Yeah.
Guys, that's the kind of coach we just hired for our tight end coach.
And you know that you've got two guys in Pittman and in Loggins that love the University of Arkansas.
Yeah. So football team's looking up, right?
Yeah, I want to say one thing before we segue. I took a health class under Joe Foley at Arkansas Tech. Joe Foley, he's the head coach at UALR or Little Rock, the women's basketball team now. And I remember him telling me, he goes, he didn't say it to me directly, he said it in class. We can make it sound like he said it to me directly, like I'm personal friends with Joe Foley. He wouldn't know who I was if I walked up to him. Yeah. But I said, Joe Foley said, he said, man, I played college basketball. It wasn't because I was good at basketball. I wanted to coach, and I figure it's the best way for me to learn the craft. And I think that's what Loggins did. Is Loggins knew, like, man, I'm too short, blah blah blah. And they said he was a scout team All-American, that he knew the playbook like the back of his hand. He just was too small to play the position in the SEC.
Well, and if you watch games in those days, he followed Houston around. Yeah. Like a little puppy dog.
He was a sponge.
And had David Lee and others there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so football, man, we're let's take that's a step back off the ledge, right?
Right. What about basketball, Travis?
Clint, basketball. Basketball is looking good. We just got another 6'6" guy committed the other day for next year as a transfer. We have our coach. He's an outsider, but he's fell in love with his state.
Yeah, he loves it.
And he was at the baseball games, like making the day of the New Jersey Institute of Technology players, because he was out there doing the hog call with them and giving them T-shirts. And like those guys, I saw some interviews with those guys, and one of their highlights was meeting Eric Musselman of the week, And, man, he's bringing in players every year. I mean, I looked through the roster today, man, and the roster is going to be solid in basketball.
I mean, next year they're going to be built around Devo Davis, most likely, and Jalen Williams. Mm-hmm. Jalen Williams on Team USA, 19 and under team or something like that, 20 and under, something like that. I mean, Jalen Williams is good.
Yeah.
You got Joe Pinion committed for next year. Then you got that kid from Magnolia. I'm brain farting his name. I think his last name's Clark, so I probably should know it.
It's Ford.
Ford, same thing.
Yeah.
But no, not at all. But Ford, they get that kid. You talk about, you got 4 Arkansas players on this team.
Yeah.
Man, they and even if they don't get Ford, it's going to be okay. Even though I think we're in his top 8. I think he released his top 8.
I think there's some of the recruiting guys, they're questionable about Ford because he's getting so hot and heavy recruited by some other people. But even if we don't get him, the way he's bringing in these transfers, that transfer from South Dakota State's going to be the best player on the team probably this year. I think you're right with Davis and Williams, but I think that 6'6" kid, he's going to be a stud. The kid from North Little Rock that transferred up, he set out this year. They say he's, one of the best underneath guys we got. He's going to be a rebounding machine. He's going to add a lot of energy. Things are looking good. Now, I will tell you, I'm upset that we lost Boykins, this week. I don't know if you heard that.
But you can't blame Boykins for taking the opportunity.
No. And Boykins is, he's the reason we got that short kid from Miami, you know, and so, you know, so that's a guy with NBA talent that, you know, NBA connections that left.
Now,
but still, but
here's the thing: it's just like in football. Who took a coach off Chad Morris's staff? Nobody.
No.
Who took a coach off Mike Anderson's staff?
Nobody.
And Mike's not a bad coach. It's not an indictment of Mike Anderson. I just don't think Mike's the guy that's going to get you over the hump.
You're right.
And he gets you the hump. It's like, oh, we can't cross the hump. But now Musselman and Pittman are bringing in people that, guys that other people want. Not as assistants. Yeah, they want them as assistants, but you're going to have Odom's not going to be here forever.
No.
He's going to get a head coaching job. I know he was one of the finalists for Memphis,
and he deserves it. Yeah,
he deserves it. If the football team takes another jump, which I really think they are, I think KJ Jefferson is going to be a star, and I think the defense is going to be at least as good, if not better, than last year. I think they're going to be better. It's another year. The biggest
thing on the defense is if we can get a pass rush. I think.
Yeah.
I think if we can get some pressure, because we got the defensive backs finally, but you can be the best defensive back in the world, and if you don't get a little pass rush every now and then.
Well, and I think they'll be able to blitz more.
But
you're going to have to get to the quarterback quicker than Grant and Bumper can.
Yeah. But here's the other thing, you know, Clint, like I said, football, basketball, baseball, those are the big three. But women's basketball, Mike Neighbors, I wouldn't trade him for anybody.
No, I wouldn't.
There's no one in women's college basketball I'd trade him for.
I've thought for years that the right guy to bring in to coach Arkansas women's basketball was Joe Foley.
Yeah,
but I think that ship sailed. I think he taught me in college, so that's how old Joe Foley is.
Yeah.
And I'm older than I care to mention.
Yeah, so I don't think
he's got to be pushing his 70s at least, if not solidly in his 70s.
Little Rock will be his last stop, probably.
Yeah, it'll be his last stop. I mean, he built that program out of nothing.
Yeah,
and they either win the Sun Belt or get close every year.
Yeah. But even sports like gymnastics, still going strong. You know,
softball hosted a super regional.
That's right. Golf going well. I mean, didn't our what was it? There was one team that I didn't even know we had. Like hockey, it was just a club team. Yeah, our hockey team.
That's the hockey team. Hockey team went to the national championship.
Yeah, where did that come from? Arkansas's killing it in hockey. Like,
guys,
are they
not
playing
that bad?
What are they playing hockey with? Like cow piles?
I don't know.
On a frozen pond in Northwest Arkansas?
They play like street hockey.
Grandma's old broom? Is that what they're?
It's basically like 9 guys that got liquored up and went down on ditches and just picked up some sticks.
That's right. Hey, boy, we're playing hockey.
And there's some guy drunk on Molson Ice that was happened to be from Canada. Like, hey, what's it on the boot?
Hey,
you hosers.
Hey, let's quit hitting this on the parking lot. Let's go to that frozen pond over there. Hey, it's ice. Yeah, dude. I mean, like, we're killing it in hockey in Arkansas. Come on, people. What more do you want? Step back from that ledge, my friend. I don't know the rest of that song.
I don't know the rest. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I think it's a Third Eye Blind song, and honestly, I'm not sure about that.
I'm not either.
I'm not 100%, so don't.
Someone's yelling at us right now as they're listening to this. No! That's not Third Eye Blind.
Okay, that's Alexa, real quick.
And they're singing the rest of it. You know,
I just heard Jim Carrey singing it on Yes Man to Louis Guzman.
Okay.
Yeah.
But seriously, y'all, look. Yes, it hurts Arkansas lost.
It does. It hurts bad.
It hurts. Okay. We wanted to win the College World Series. And we thought we could have, man. Watching videos of cops out there Man, how proud are you of that guy? He's out there an hour after the game, still signing autographs and taking pictures with kids. That's just class, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 24 years old, so he's older than most college kids. But man, that's just not only, you know, not only do we have guys in the system right now, in the teams at Arkansas that are just fun to watch, but man, there's some good kids.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're hearing some stories about good things they're doing, you know, and you know, my little hero in baseball is Robert Moore, you know, and just seeing him, the way he fights out there. And, you know, I didn't like the way he hit in the last few games, but sometimes he did pretty good. But I thought he had some at-bats. He was a little too impatient. But still, man, that guy, he's short, skinny, little guy, you know, smaller than most everybody else, still just killing it.
Yeah.
So, man, we got a lot to be proud of.
We do. We really do. And I think they're actually – this baseball team wasn't supposed to be this good. I think we started off the season outside the top 10.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, it's just women's basketball, football. It's all looking up.
Yeah.
I
you know,
mean,
and really, and football is probably the one that a lot of people are so positive about because they love Sam Pittman. And it's the one that has the farthest to go.
Yeah.
The rest of them are.
You saw progress. You see progress. And guys, you know, I mean, people are mad at Van Horn and they're saying, oh, Van Horn should have done this. He should have done that. It's like Sam Pittman said about our Kendall Brow's play calling. Guess if he knew it wasn't going to work, he wouldn't have done it either.
That's right.
You know, it just you make the best call. You make a gut feeling, and you go with what you think's right.
Well, and they said Hobbs asked Cops the night before that last game. Said, "What do you think? Do you want to start?" And Cops said, "Yes, I do." And the reporter asked him, said, "What was your thinking there?" He said, "My thinking was my career and my teammates' careers on the line. I want to be the guy to step up." And I'll follow that guy into battle every week.
And Kevin Cobb's not why we lost. I mean, he's just not.
No.
Threw 100-something pitches. What should show you is how little faith he had in the other pitchers. Is the guy he brought in for the bullpen was Wicklander.
Yeah.
You know. So
like I said, man. Well, like we said, folks, look, Clint and Travis are here. Big C and Bigger T are here to tell you it's all good.
It's all good.
Look, in fact, you know, Clint, I'm calling an audible here. Ready? Let's give some of our best sports motivation quotes that we've heard in our time.
Ooh.
Okay, ready? This is just off the top of our head. We hadn't thought about this earlier. How about this one? Razorback fans, the hay's in the barn. The hay's in the barn. Let's get out there and let's do it. The hay's in the barn for the football team. The hay's in the – Yurichek is putting the hay in the barn. Let's get out there. We're ready. We're ready for it.
Look, one of my favorite sayings Coach Mullins always said to us, and he said it a lot. They play their best. We play our best. We win. And I think next year, football, basketball, women's basketball, baseball, all those sports, we play our best. They play their best. We're going to win a lot of games. And I think all three major sports in Arkansas, male sports, baseball, football, and basketball, will be playing in the postseason. You'll have a good run in the big dance. You'll have a big run to Omaha. You'll actually go to a bowl game. We may go back to the Texas Bowl. Maybe we'll actually make it this year and get to play.
That's right. Yeah.
But I mean, I see a path that's not that difficult to 6 wins. I see a path to 8. I see a path maybe to 9. There's a path there. Is it easy? No, but I see a path there.
That's right.
So, well, Travis,
and once again, overall, we have to say, you're a chick. Is doing a great
You're a
job.
check. I
He's
was
doing
wearing a hat. I
job
tip it
leading.
to you again, my friend.
That's right. I'm tipping mine. He's doing a good job leading all this. So listen, y'all. First of all, look up Sean Michelle's music. We need you to do that. He's a wonderful guy and wonderful tunes. So look him up on iTunes, Spotify, places like that. If you get a chance, go on YouTube, look him up. You know, you can see the spelling on my wall back here, how to spell his name.
And if you're on
Thank you.
Spotify or Apple Podcast, it is Sean, Sean, Michelle, Michel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. Forgot some people can't see this. Yeah.
No, they can't. So
And that's another reminder. We're now big timing, folks. We're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. The Clampets have come to the big city, boys.
we're going to make that state. My goal is to basically have a blue check mark by my Instagram.
That's
and
right.
my
We want
Twitter.
that. And in order for that to happen, we need you to put some Apple reviews of our podcast. I don't think we have any Apple reviews yet. I haven't looked lately, but we need some folks. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, go and give us a 5-star rating and review it. Tell people they need to listen to this podcast, because there's some people that may just be shopping around looking, doing a search, and they may come across it and they click on it and they don't know what it's about. They're just going to read what I put when I've signed us up. We need some of you to say, hey, this is worth listening to. Even if you don't think it's worth listening to, it's okay.
Just
We'll let you
lie.
We'll let
But
you
you're
lie.
lying for us, so it's all good.
Yeah, as long as it makes us feel better about ourselves, that's all we care about. But seriously, YouTube, we're still there. We're still on Facebook. You know, follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. I'm hoping to, especially Twitter and Instagram, we need to start putting some stuff out during the week. We'll put some things out we hear, like tweeted out some of the Dow login stuff. There's some other videos that I've shared on there, like interviews with some of the New Jersey baseball players and what they said about being at Arkansas. Some things like that are worth watching and listening to. So follow us, okay? Like us, share us, all that good stuff. We need you. We want to keep, we love doing this, don't we, Clint?
We do. I enjoy it a lot.
We enjoy it. Me and Clint, like I said, we'd probably be on the phone talking to each other about this stuff anyway, but we're able to do it over the computer like this and then share it with other people. Sometimes we say things that are dumb and funny. Sometimes we say things that are just dumb. But we hope you enjoy it. We want this to be like you're sitting down with your buddies and you're just talking and you feel like you're in the room with us. That's what you want. We're down to earth guys. We don't pretend like we know more than what we know, because we don't know.
No one does less research than we do.
Exactly. But we love doing this. We love talking about it. And so we'd love for you to follow us and be more interactive on the social media stuff so that we can get more people listening and watching and stuff like that, because that's what motivates us to do more. So help us out, please, please, please. So step back from that ledge. Don't eat any tainted burritos, Clint. Stay away from them. We don't need you getting disqualified from your jiu-jitsu stuff.
Nope, no tainted burritos.
Tainted
I'm gonna stay away from
burrito. That's good advice. Just any time, really. Tainted burritos are bad. So I'd stay away from most gas station burritos. That's just good advice too. Except those Crispitos.
and gas station sushi. It just is a bad idea.
That's right. Yeah. And gas station chicken gizzards. Anyway. Yeah, those are fish bait anyway. Stay away from them. All right, Clint. Well, man, enjoyed it as always. You have a good rest of the week. I feel better. I do too. I feel better.
You know what's going to make me feel even better? A little bit San Michelle playing.
That's right. Because I sweat when I work.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, Kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt. Kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning. I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Oh, I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come.